So this simply is an exposure, an abundant exposure of all there is already, total boundless freedom. Suggestions seem to occur that point out what is already absolute freedom beyond limitation. Limitation would just simply seem to be an appearance of this. This is unconditional love, it's unconditional freedom. No one knows it, owns it, relates to it. No one has it. No one acknowledges or avoids. Everything is unconditionally free. This is totally everything, just boundlessness. There's just whatever's happening is sort of full on aliveness with no one in it or out of it or with it. No navigation, no approaching. These words and the listening and sitting down and everything that's happening is just full on aliveness for no reason at all. There's not even anyone in this. There's no position, although energetically anything can seem to appear. And so what may seem to appear is a sense of being here, a position that is knowing what's happening, being at a distance from what's happening, separate from what's happening. And that too is obviously what's happening. But the sense of separation and being distant and feeling this as known or something is it's not a reality. It just seems to occur as an apparent energetic sense of awareness, which is, again, totally illusory and insubstantial. And there's no real position. So the position is seemingly a spatial sense, but it's also a timely sense and a conscious sense. So it's the sense of being here now as an I am. So I am here and now is a sort of assertion that time, consciousness, and space are all fundamental realities. But this is not a reality, it's an artificiality, which is just simply boundlessness, energy appearing as space, time, and consciousness. It's almost like limitless, boundless freedom just appears as limited and bounded and not so free. But that's just simply freedom pretending. It just seems to be freedom in disguise in a way. It's not really disguised. It's not really camouflaged. It's not really hidden. There's just boundlessness playing and being everything that's happening. So time, space, and consciousness are not substantial realities. They're just appearances. This what's more apparent, or not really more apparent, but this what's apparent is just absolute timelessness. There's no real time. Memory too is this, timelessly appearing. There's no real here. There's no real location or position. Space too is just insubstantial. There's no real location. And the distance of awareness, this isn't real either. There's no reporting. There's no one knowing what's going on. So those positional senses are just insubstantial. They seem to be like an energetic byproduct of an apparently human condition, which is not necessary, and it's not really unnecessary. It just is what appears to be happening, like everything else, and yet it's illusory. And so this exposure just points out that there is just boundless freedom for no reason at all. There's no meaning because there's no real timeline. There's no going this way or that way. This isn't coming from anywhere, going anywhere, or becoming anything. It is absolutely free, all by its boundlessness, non-self. And what also, of course, can appear as a dualistic dream, not only here, now, and I am, but the sense that I am going this direction. So I'm going towards a destination called freedom or enlightenment, liberation, moksha, nirvana, kingdom of God, kingdom of heaven, uniting with the divine, merging with the creator, or blending into my ancestors, or whatever the wonderful, fantastical stories that appear is all sort of nonsensically meaningless. It's not wrong or bad or anything, but it's not reality because this is timeless. There's no real merging or blending or uniting or ascending. There's no layers or depth to this, so there's no real dimension or direction to anything. This is absolutely free already. as itself, which is no self, just aliveness. And so the direction and the dimension, the journey and the destination are all illusory polarities that this appears to take on. And what is simply exposed is that the so-called destination that's longed for is actually everything. Everything that's happening is this total freedom. It's not necessarily what's wanted by a so-called personal me experience, but it is absolute freedom beyond conditionality, separation, or knowledge of this. Just is this. And so a dream apparently dies into that as that, but it's not a real dream to really go away or change or become anything else other than this. It just is this already.
Hi, Alexis.
Hey, Ben and Joyce.
Hi.
Joyce and I miss you so much.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't be joining me in these meetings.
Yeah.
oh, how sweet.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm ready to go get some steak and eggs. How about you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Or at the very least, let's go for a swim, eh?
Oh, that sounds bloody good. Yeah.
Such good times. So we just wanted to say hello and we love you.
It's great to see you.
Oh, it's so lovely to see you. Yeah. Hey.
Hi, Alexis. Ben is clearly a troublemaker.
Oh, yeah,
This is
absolutely.
supposed to be a serious meeting, you know. How are we going to get enlightened if you guys don't have steak and eggs?
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, you Americans ruined Alexis, you know. Oh,
Well, thank God I'm not American.
oh, how about that? How convenient.
I know, right? I know, very convenient.
Oh.
If
Oh, but
steak and eggs isn't
there-
enlightenment, I don't know what is.
Oh.
I mean, if
Oh,
that's not
God.
enlightenment, I don't want enlightenment.
I've had it wrong all along.
Yeah, yeah.
Such a great group of people here today. I think everybody's just basking. No questions, just in loveness.
Mm, yeah,
I see you, Maureen, Susie.
yeah. Just lovelies gathered for no reason or purpose at all.
Yeah. Just happy to be here with y'all.
Mm,
It's just so clear. No
Sorry.
one has any questions.
not yet.
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Carl. Yeah. So, so it appears there may be glimpses. Who knows if that's really what's going on, but it appears that may be so. And so last night it was like my husband was standing there and he was doing something that has traditionally in our 30 years of marriage been something that annoys me. And I was just watching it and I was like, it was like, wow, the characteristics were actually just, it was sort of magnificent, actually, in a way. And it I don't know, it was just very, it was different, and and he was sort of going on and upset about something, and it was just like, I don't know, it's just like watching. Like, I did happen to think, no wonder he has a hard time getting along with some of the people at work, because it was, you could see how would be, it could be disturbing, but there was a quality to it that was very different and somewhat beautiful, actually. And I don't know, what words to use. It felt much more impersonal, and it feels a little more right now like I'm not really talking, and it doesn't feel like me is gone all the way or anything like that. And I guess I don't really know exactly what my question is, other than, he's a little concerned I might be crazy.
Mm.
And so we're both hoping that's not what's going on.
Oh.
But I suppose, in your unraveling, was there any moments like that?
What, thinking if I was going crazy?
Well, that too, but also just experiencing people as more as characteristics, like, rather than.
No, there's no relating. There's no sense that other people are anything or whatever. There's no other. There's just immediacy of whatever's happening. Yeah. There's just what apparently falls away is just having an agenda with other people and how to deal with them and give them advice or whatever. All the games that seem to play, that apparently collapsed because it's obvious that there's no one really having an actually real separate experience. Yeah. I mean, when a body, I mean, there still seems to have some sort of understanding of anatomy and physiology. So if someone comes at work and is having pains or whatever, yeah, there might be like, oh, okay, well, we could try that, but not in any other real sense, really. Like if someone's wondering about their chakras or, how to become more worthy or something, all those games are just no. Yeah, there's no games to be played, no agenda in that sense.
Thanks.
Mm. It is everything, so it is also the apparent bad moods and voices. Yep, totally. Everything is, in a way, included. No exclusion. Everything is this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since no one's talking, I'm gonna do it. So this is just an interesting thing. Like, I normally don't really like talking in public like this, and I can even feel the whole face going red, and how uncomfortable it is. And here it is. It's happening. And guess what? Red face has not yet been the death of me, unfortunately.
The death of me, yeah. No me to die already. This is already absolute freedom. There's no process. There's no real event. There is no event. Just liberation already. And silence doesn't need to be filled either. Neither does it need to be allowed or acknowledged. It's all the same. No thing. Talking and not talking is all this.
Hello.
Hey.
I've been very fortunate that I really just opened up to this message and my questions fell away quickly. And I know you said something about thoughts don't have that stickiness, they might come in and out. And I'm wondering, this is kind of crazy, but songs stick in my head for days. Wondering if that happens over there. Does that happen there?
I guess there's just no sense of continuity, so there's no real repetition in that sense of, this going on and on and on and on forever. There's no that sort of linear felt sense of continuity. It falls apart when there's no sense of objectification of time, and so things don't tend to stick around in any way whatsoever. And there's also no one relating to thoughts. There's no one having thoughts and then, listening to the chatter, the internal dialogue or monologue or whatever. So thoughts are just spontaneously appearing. And that's all really. So there's no one having a song stuck in the head. That perhaps lyrics in that appear, or sounds or whatever, imagined perception, but there's no real continuity.
Thank you.
Yeah, and therefore no one has an agenda with thoughts or sounds, or there's preferences too, which is also spontaneous appearance, but no one having an agenda with thoughts or these thoughts and those thoughts and anger and this and that.
So is there something about the contracted energy that keeps a song looping?
That would be a story really, but when the sense of relationship and awareness giving a sense of songs being I'm aware of the song playing over and over. So it seems to come with it a sense of ongoingness, like this keeps going on and on and on for me, to me, with me or by me. So ruminating and relating, it seemed to be sort of aspects of the me dream, of someone knowing what's happening, being aware of it and wishing it to be another way.
Yeah, I wish I knew all the words to the song.
Which song?
Whichever one. Now, usually it's a song that I'd really rather not have looping. Just something with the catchy jingle.
Uh-huh.
It's you're like, oh my gosh, not that, and it just kind of sticks or seems to stick around. Sometimes for days, it just pops up.
Yeah.
Seems like.
So that's a me thing and a time thing that in the dream here.
I mean, there's no real black and white line where this is a me experience and that's a not me experience, because there is already no me. There's already no real objectification or awareness. So it's not like it's this or it's that, there's no line, there's no me and not me. There's just this what is. But what might be appearing is a story that there is a continuity, which is also immediately this. Yeah. The thought that arises saying this has been going on for days or hours or weeks or months, whatever. That's a thought that immediately appears, but there's no real continuity already.
I didn't think of it that way.
Cool. Thanks, Alexis.
Thanks for nothing. There's no loss because there's no past, yeah. Yeah, there's no real continuity, no past, no future, no now, no nothing. Just this. Not even this.
So, since there is no time, if someone said to you, "What did you do 2 weeks ago? Where were you 2 weeks ago?" How would that process?
Where talking happens. Questions, answers, conversation. It's all this. Body would seem to remember or recall. So body, it's all seemingly goes on quite normally, but it's not with any sense of real continuity. Yeah. So even to say that body goes on quite normally suggests time. So talking, it's just impossible to talk about this immediacy, which is everything. It cannot possibly be captured. As soon as body starts to talk, we're into time and duality and space, but we're not really. There's just talking happening, but talking is just what's happening. And so, 2 weeks ago, yeah, body would seem to recall, but there's no real continuity or consistency of what's happening. Yeah.
Thanks.
It's like a felt sense. It seems like a felt sense. Can't really be described any other way. It doesn't seem. There's just a felt sense that time is a linear line, that I'm moving on. And it's the same with space as well and consciousness. It's like a felt sense. And they're just simply, apparently, they collapse and it's just reduced to concepts and ideas and memories.
Alexis, why are the walls in your apartment not looking blue?
Why are the what not looking blue?
Yeah, why are the walls in your apartment not looking blue?
Do they not?
They don't. I mean, on my screen, they're like a gray green.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Who knew? I mean, there is a slight blurred effect that seems to be on the camera situation at the moment.
Huh.
Maybe that's got something to do with it.
Yeah. Because actually, your apartment is like Ben's shirt.
Yes.
Blue. Yes? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just missed him so much.
Hi, Alexis. Like there's that sense that there's no loss because there's no past.
Hmm.
There can't be then such a loss as freedom.
Yeah, I mean, loss would also sort of subtly imply that something has lost someone. There's nothing to lose. There's nothing to be lost. There's no one to be losing anything. There's no position to be losing a me. There's So there's no loss at all. And there's no, as you say, there's no real continuity of time. So there's no now that relates to a before either. So the loss, in a way, is the loss of loss. Everything is lost, and nothing was ever had anyway. It's incomprehensible. So there's no now for there to be a then, and relating to a past and a position called no me that relates to another position called a me that once was. It's the death of the whole dream of continuity, consistency, polarity, duality, paradigm, space, consciousness, and everything else. And yet, because it never really happened, it never really happened. There's no happening.
Mhm. Yeah, yet the me thinks, well, I kind of intellectually know that, but the me thinks the freedom will be a continuous thing. But there isn't such thing as sorry, there isn't such thing as freedom then.
Yeah, so freedom is already everything. There's no event called freedom that anyone really dives into or gets a hold of. No one to gain freedom or lose freedom or to become free. There just is freedom. It's already everything. And yet it's no thing or nothing.
Yeah.
There's no event, there's no experience, there's not even a non-event called enlightenment or liberation. What this apparent experience, dream world is looking for and waiting for and wanting for is already everything. And there's just an apparent death, which is totally illusory and insubstantial, therefore never really happens, happened, or will happen.
Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes it looks like some thoughts are more sticky than other thoughts. And that too can seem to be a thought.
Yeah, it's funny. There was nothing to say about this.
No,
No.
nothing can be said, and yet this is appearing as speaking.
Yes. Thanks.
So without depth or breadth, without journey and destination, without progression, path leading to somewhere, without real dimension or layers, this is everything. This is all there is. Boundless. Never known, never owned, never anything other than what is happening, and yet not even a real happening or an unreal happening either, just simply everything. Unlimited, unconditional, and yet not even a thing to be labeled unconditional, just boundlessness. And anticipating, expecting, waiting and wanting, striving for something to happen, or trying to stop waiting, wanting, expecting and craving is all totally this as well, obviously. There is nothing else other than this. So whatever is happening is this. Whether it's wanting or not wanting, or wanting to stop wanting, or any other tangled up things that seem to happen in a dream world, which is absolute unconditional love. It's total freedom. There's no better or worse. There's no real polarity. The exposure is simply pointing out But the freedom that's seemingly wanted, not really wanted, longed for and looked for in every direction, is already everything. Never really staring at anyone in the face, because there's no separation for there to be a screamer or a starer. It is the longing, the looking, the looker, the longer. It is everything, what's longed for. Inescapable, unnavigatable, unapproachable, non-synchronizable freedom. Much love.
Thanks, Alexis. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.